Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Christina Leandro Lopez, aka your classy hood chick. Thank you guys for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I know your time is valuable, so I greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And for everyone else, welcome back. Today, I'm going to talk about the best ways to create an affirmation. So, first, step one, you want to look at what you're already saying and the conversations that you're having to yourself and what is not serving you. So, what are you already saying that is a negative affirmation? What are you negatively affirming? One that I hear a lot of people say just in regular conversation with, close friends and family, one that I hear all the time is I hate people. I can't stand people. I don't like talking to people. I can't stand people. So you're already affirming that you don't like people and you can't stand them and you don't want to talk to them. So you're going to keep on manifesting more people that you can't stand or people that you don't want to talk to. So look at what you're saying right now in your conversations. Like be mindful of what you're saying. So first I want you to spend some time to kind of analyze the conversations that you just have with yourself. Are you saying things like, man, I just can't seem to get ahead, or I have bad timing. I never seem to have the right timing. What things are you already saying that you can identify as having a negative impact? What are you saying that's a negative belief system? Because this is a belief system that you have, whether you're aware of it or not. But if it's not serving you, then this is why we want to use affirmations to change that. We want to use affirmations to change our mindset, change our belief system, rewire our brains so that we can create a positive affirmation that's going to serve us. So I would say really just take a look at what you're already saying. I know for me in the past, especially when I was younger, a lot of the conversations I had with myself were a lot of just self-doubt, thinking that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't good enough, that things would just never happen for me. And that's why I kept manifesting myself into those circumstances, right? I found myself in toxic relationships, in jobs that I just couldn't stand and I was just trying to work so hard at. And it just seemed like I wasn't getting ahead because I felt I had to work so hard. And I had that belief system that if I wasn't working, if I didn't have a second job or job number 3, that I wasn't making money and I was losing money. I had to really work on rewiring my brain and changing that belief system because, again, everything stems from childhood and a lot of it is all rooted into lack of confidence and insecurity. I mean, that's really what it is. Marisa Peers, she's great. She has a lot of content here on YouTube reminding us all that everything that we're challenged with in our circumstances is all rooted in a lack of confidence and insecurity. So no matter if you're struggling with whether it's relationships, you're struggling financially, you're struggling with, your health and fitness, whatever you're struggling with, ultimately can all be rooted into lack of confidence and insecurity. I mean, that's really all it is. So what we want to do by using these affirmations is to find a way to create more confidence, create a better belief system in ourselves so that we are more secure in who we are and of what we can accomplish and of what we can achieve. So that's really the goal with using affirmations. And I'm always using my affirmations to reach my goals. And it just really helps because now if I know what my goal is, what am I going to tell myself now that's going to help catapult me to achieve that goal even faster versus having a goal and then telling myself things of doubt that are just going to push me further away. So keep in mind, so when you're looking at the things that you're currently saying, remember that everything is rooted in a lack of confidence. So, and that's with anything, which is just crazy when you think about it, because it's so simple, right? Like, well, no shit. Like that's where everything is rooted from. Whether you're an alcoholic, drug abuser, you're unhealthy, you don't take care of yourself, whatever bad habits, a lot of that is just from a lot of insecurity that's rooted from childhood. So we want to work on creating affirmations that's going to give us a better belief system. Once you kind of analyze the conversations that you're having with yourself, take a look at what you're saying. We want to start being aware of what we're saying and just start changing it in our favor. So number 2, be specific. So be specific in what you're saying in your affirmation. For example, for me, I have various affirmations that I love to use, but it really depends on what my goal is. But some general ones that I really love is just everything is always working out for me in the best possible ways. So that's one of my favorite affirmations that I've been using for a while. And I got that one from Mary Kate. What is her YouTube channel? I'm not sure, but if I could find it, I'll put a little screenshot of it so that you can definitely check her out. She's great. I love watching a lot of her content because she's a very, very detailed when it comes to manifesting and affirmations and law of attraction. So she, gives a lot of great, affirmations. And that was one that I really, really liked and it really resonated with me. And I love using that. So keeping it very specific, keep it very simple, and using words that are going to help to create that positive emotion that we want to create. So keep in mind that there are affirmations that might not resonate with you. I know I made this mistake in the past where I got from Bob Proctor, was to get some index cards, and he would even give these very great affirmations to write. And I really liked him, so I wrote them down the index cards, but it was a little overwhelming. And so, the beginning of my journey, here I am sitting with like, I don't know, like maybe 5, 6 index cards, and each index card has like 3 sentences on it. They were very detailed, and he was very big on putting an end date. Like I am going to be earning, or I am earning $200,000 a year by 2023. So he was very big about being very specific and putting a timeline. This is definitely on your own preference. I personally, I used to do that, and like I said, because I got a lot of that from Bob Proctor, and I just felt it was a little too overwhelming, and it kind of gave me a lot of doubt. So you want to be mindful of what emotion is coming up for you when you're trying to use this affirmation. If doubt is coming in, and kind of that, well, how's that going to happen, what can I do to make that happen, and a lot of those conflicts that you're having with yourself, if those are coming up, then that might not be the best affirmation for you. Find something that's going to really resonate with you, because when I was overwhelming myself, again, I wasn't able to really spend enough time to commit to those affirmations, because it was just so much, right? It was just, I'm sitting here reading like a paragraph, and I'm trying to get through these index cards, and a part of me just wanted to get through the cards. So now I'm not focused on the right things. So be specific, but keep in mind, use words that are really going to work and resonate with you, because there's some affirmations that just aren't going to work for you. I found myself in that situation when I was trying to use certain affirmations that I felt were just a little too basic. They really weren't evoking the emotion that I needed. And that's what's really important when you're creating these affirmations, is just really getting that emotion, just making it where, damn, that shit feels good. I love saying it because it gets me in the right mindset and the right frame of mind. So like I said, when I say everything always works out for me in the best possible ways, like I have been using that one for maybe about 7 or 8 months. And it's like now it's just second nature. Like that, anytime I'm starting to get frustrated or I'm feeling challenged, I instantly remind myself everything always works out for me in the best possible ways. And it just evokes that emotion inside of me where I'm like, fuck yes, my confidence is there. And I know that I can be in faith that everything is going to work out. So keep that in mind, okay? Be specific, but use words that are going to evoke that emotion that you want to manifest to your desires. I also like to keep them very simple, but also in align to what my goals are. So for example, if I have like financial goals, which I always talk about. So with my financial goals, I might create an affirmation that says, I am earning $15,000 a month. And so for me, I'm going to now use that because I know what my goal is, and I'm going to turn that goal into an affirmation that's going to help me become more in alignment to achieving that goal even faster. So I like to do that as well. So really just working on, they can be very general, everything is always working out for me in the best possible way, or I am lovable, or just think of anything that's really going to give you that confidence and more security in who you are, and the confidence to achieve your goals, and to make sure that you are seeing these new realities. So I like to use them that way as well. Using the word I am is very big. I am this, I am this. Sometimes I will say I earn or I receive, especially when I'm talking about my finances. I receive $15,000 a month, or I am now receiving $15,000 a month. There's different ways that you can kind of tweak the words in your affirmation, but make sure you work on using it to, like I said, it's going to be very effective for you, where you are going to get those emotions of excitement and joy, and now create that belief system that it is achievable for you. So keep that in mind. I would avoid using things in the past. What I used to do is I used to write my affirmations, I will. That was a big mistake that I was doing. So again, in my earlier days, I was just, really just trying to, get into these new habits. But again, we want to create the right habit, and it's all a learning curve. So that's why I want to share this with you, because definitely, if you can avoid the mistakes that I made, then that's going to just help you to get to where you need to go faster. So for me in the beginning, I kept using things such as, I will be making $100,000 a year. I will be, hitting whatever the goal was, or I will. It was I kept writing I will. And what I later found out was that by saying I will, it was literally just pushing me further away from my goal, because I will is like you're saying I will in the future. So what you're always doing in that present moment is you're separating that present to that future, saying I will. Instead of when you say I am now, or I am earning, or I am receiving, or I am, you're saying that as right now. I am receiving $15,000 a month, or I am, whatever it is that you want to say. Really try to avoid those words that are kind of putting a future tense. We don't want to worry about a future tense because we're always in the present. So if we're always in the present, focus on the present as if it's here. So you're going to use words. I am receiving. I am a manifesting queen. Things that are I am right now, So keep that in mind. Don't use I will, or I can. I know, especially, when you hear a lot of like, I can do it, I can do it. That's great. And we do want to, have those positive, little mantras, but I am doing it. I am receiving it. Like I have it now. So keep in mind when you're writing these, you want to really use it as if I am now. Like this is who I am now. I'm creating this, and it's going to only be a matter of time before you get there. But if you say I will, you're just pushing it further out. So definitely a tip right there to keep in mind. Okay. Number 3, I suggest using 3 to 5 affirmations, and do not use more than 5 at a time. I say this because, again, when I was using those index cards, it was very overwhelming. It was like 3 sentences on each index card. I probably had about, like I said, maybe 6 or 7. And it was just getting very overwhelming. So I recommend, what really worked for me was keeping it simple. You guys know I love keeping shit simple because that's what works. So really pick maybe 3 to 5, no more than 5, and commit to those affirmations until it just becomes second nature, until that's something that always pops up in your head and that's your new belief system. We're working on rewiring our brains so that our belief system changes and shifts us into the right mindset. So keep that in mind. Don't overwhelm yourself. Really commit to these until it just becomes a part of second nature. It just becomes a part of who you are, and you are now manifesting those into your reality. So if I'm now telling myself, everything always works out for me, then guess what? Motherfucker, shit's gonna always work out for me. So now I am seeing that into my reality. I am always seeing it around me because that has now become second nature for me. So keep that in mind. Make sure you say your affirmations along with visualization, and using that to really just spark that emotion that's going to help manifest that energy to then manifest those new realities, because that's really what this is all about. It's all about creating the emotion. We're using affirmations and words to create a certain emotion that we want to manifest and see into our reality. So if you are saying an affirmation, but you have a lot of doubt, a lot of negativity around it, you're just going to create more of that doubt. So we don't want to do that. Okay. So make sure you're saying your affirmations as much as you can, as often as you can. And as you're saying them, visualize it, visualize, everything is working out for me, or I'm now earning $15,000 a month. Visualize that. See your bank account, see your paychecks, visualize it. That's going to really help to get you excited and to create that strong emotion. And that's what's really helped me a lot, is just really making sure that I can say these as often as possible and commit to them, like I mentioned before, so that it just becomes second nature. Once I've been using my 3 to 5 affirmations and they've now become second nature to me, and I've been able to see that shit, this is really happening. Like what I'm believing is really, really happening, because ultimately that's how it works. That's law of attraction. Again, whatever you're saying, whether it's negative or positive, you're going to see that in your reality. We want to make sure that we're using these, saying these daily, visualizing the positive, create that positive emotion that's going to create the energy to manifest and create what we want. So some extra little tips that I would suggest, again, is just keeping it very simple. Keep in mind that a lot of these challenges that we're having and that we're facing is rooted in a lack of confidence and insecurity that we have. And we want to make sure that we're using our affirmations to create confidence, because if we're challenged with something because we're not that confident and we're insecure in whatever the situation may be, we want to make sure we're using words and affirmations that's going to create that confidence and that belief system. You can do it. Whether you're in a toxic relationship, an unhappy relationship, or whether you're stuck at a job that you just hate and you can't stand, and you feel, it's just what you need to do to make money because that's really all you know or all you were told. We got to make sure that we're using things that are going to serve us. So creating that new belief system through affirmations. And it's just my favorite way because I think it's something that, again, these are just simple, so simple techniques that we're not taught in school. We're really not taught these things. They want to just distract us with all this other bullshit. Dude, there's so much more out there. And if you just tap into who you are, you can create things so much more easier if we just work on our belief systems. And that's really how we're going to use these affirmations, because it's all about shifting our mindset, rewiring our brain, and creating, a new system that's going to serve us and just catapult us even quicker to our goals. So I hope that helps you guys. Again, there's so many resources out there on affirmations. I always encourage you guys to, do some more, research, look up a little more ideas, get some more tips, and take a little bit, of this and take a little bit of that and see what's going to work for you. So I know some people do recommend, saying affirmations at least 10 times a day. I don't like to put a number on it. For me, because now I'm going to be focused on 10 times a day. Did I say them 10 times? I don't want to worry about that. I just want to create this new system of beliefs. And I just want to make sure that I can keep saying it as often as possible. And what I like to do, something that I like to do that helps me with that, is I actually use an app called Word Swag, and you can take a photo, any photo you want. You can find one online, or you can use some of their stock photos that they have, and you can just create the text onto the photo. And I like to do that for my affirmations or for whatever my goals are that I'm working on at that time, and I'll print them out. So I will create the image in Word Swag, create the text. Let's just say if it's a financial goal, I will find a photo of money or stacks of, $100 bills, just to kind of give me that strong emotion. And I'll put the text over, and then I'll print all these out, make a few copies. I put them up when I'm doing my makeup, when I'm getting ready for work in the morning. I will put them up on my wall so that as I'm, getting ready, doing my makeup, I can see these. I'll keep them at work and I'll put them at my desk. So I really like to have these just as a reminder to constantly think of these affirmations and to continue and continue to say them until it becomes second nature. It is now part of who you are. It is now a new belief system that you created. And now we can move on and add three new affirmations, add 5 more affirmations, and then work on those ones until now you have just a whole set of new belief systems that are really just going to empower you and help you to achieve your goals and manifest all the amazing things that we are capable of. So please let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have any tips. There are so many ways to use affirmations. We just want to find the ways that's going to best serve us, because we don't want to create more doubt. We don't want to create an affirmation that's a little too far-fetched, that where you're like, okay, I don't really believe this, but I'm just going to keep saying it. No, we want to make sure that we're using it that's going to really resonate with us. So you can Google, affirmations for love, affirmations for health, affirmations for career, finance, and get some ideas. I like to do that a lot. I'll pick a few that I like, maybe change it up a little bit, change the words, tweak it, add a little bit of my own. And sometimes that's how I'll create some of my affirmations. But there's so much out there. Remember, we want to start creating belief systems that's going to serve us. So be mindful of what you're saying. Think about the things that you're saying. How can you change it? And find some that are really going to help work towards your goals and your desires. And I hope that helps you guys. Let me know what you guys think. And remember to share some of your tips. And I really appreciate you guys for spending time with me today, because I know your time is valuable. So thank you so much. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. And I will see you guys next time. So thank you guys. I love you guys. And I will see you guys soon.